Hello and welcome to Quirky Cat Crafts. This is Sherry. Okay, you guys, I'm getting ready to start a new project. And so I'm kind of still in the planning stages, but I'm going to let you know where I'm at so far and what this is all about. Okay, so previous videos I've mentioned my interest in Jeremy Jordan, who is a Broadway star, TV star, movie star, singer, has a band. He is just an amazing, inspiring, positive individual that I'm taking a lot of joy from. Anyway, so he's currently starring in The Great Gatsby on Broadway. And the Disney Princess box that I showed in the previous video is actually going to his daughter. But I was hesitant to send it because I wasn't sure if that was overstepping or inappropriate, to be sending something for his 5-year-old daughter. So another fan of his suggested that I ask his social media manager. Her name is Jennifer. So I sent Jennifer a message and asked her, and she said she thought it would be okay. And through the course of the conversation, we were also talking about inappropriate behavior of fans. And she was telling me about some negative interactions that she had had with some fans that were, very rude and disrespectful to her. And that is very upsetting to me. When fans start to treat these celebrities like their property or an inanimate object, or the expectations that fans have of these people that are just unfair and unrealistic, and they seem to forget that this is a human being. And so we had a fairly lengthy conversation about it. And through the course of the conversation, I had said to her that I would love to make a mosaic for her. And she had replied back that, that was really sweet. And then something along the lines of having to keep a line between the fans and herself. And so I was a little disappointed, and we continued talking. And then I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? She has no clue who I am. For all she knows, I'm a crazy fan lady. And so obviously she's not going to give me her home address to send something to. I mean, I wouldn't if I was in her position. So then I said to her, and if you want a mosaic, since I'm sending one to the theater anyway for Jeremy, what I can do is just include yours with his, and then you can just get it from him next time you see him. And she immediately jumped on that. That's great. Perfect. So got that locked in. And it's also quite humorous because, she's like, let me know when it's on its way so I can anticipate the text message from him of, why are you getting fan mail sent to me? Which I'm sure will be very humorous for her, and I'm happy to help with that. Anyway, back to the point of the mosaic. So I had decided on a picture frame because, she sees Jeremy quite often, and she's actually been to see The Great Gatsby, I believe, 10 times now. And of course, every time she, has a few minutes to visit with him, because they've been friends for like 15 years. And so, and she's posted a few pictures. So I was thinking picture frame, obviously you're going to have a picture to put in it. So I said, so give me, your favorite, line from the play, or a favorite lyric. And she's like, oh gosh, I have so many. And I said, well, give me your top 4 and I can probably make that work. And she said, well, I have 2. And the first one is, I want carefree and fun, but not rodeo clown. And then the second one is keep it casual. And I'm going to give you guys a little bit of background on this so you understand where it's coming from. So both of these are lyrics from a song called Only Tea. And if anybody's interested in this kind of stuff, if you Google, or if you go on YouTube and search The Great Gatsby Only Tea, you can hear the song. But basically, for those that aren't familiar with the storyline, he's trying to win back a love from 5 years ago, even though now she's married and has a kid. And so everything he does is in his life is in the hopes of winning her back. So She is unaware that he's back, and he rents a cottage on his property to what turns out to be her cousin, and then arranges for her cousin to invite her over for tea so that it can be like a random meeting, like, oh, and this is my landlord, Jay Gatsby, and that kind of thing. So that's the premise. And he's basically panicking. He's freaking out. He's like, what am I going to say? What am I going to wear? How is she going to react? This is a mistake. Never mind. Basically, he's wigging out. So that's the gist of the song. And so they're both lines from the song, and they're both in reference to the outfit that he's wearing. Because, he wants to look good. So, at one point he asks the cousin, how do I look? And the cousin says, perfectly tailored. And he says, too tailored? I said to keep it casual. So that's where that line comes from. So, since the two lines have to do with, they're both from the same song, and because they have to do with his suit, that's where I'm getting the inspiration for my vocal stamps here. Okay. So, at one point the song says, it's just a tiny little cottage with a tiny little table and, tiny little finger sandwiches. That's one of the lines in the song. So I got a stamp of a tiny little cottage. And these are stamped out on paper at the moment. And I'll explain why here in a minute. So, tiny little cottage, tiny little table. This stamp set actually came with another stamp that was like teapot, teacup, little cookies, that kind of thing. But there are roses in this. And the female character's name is Daisy. And I had this other stamp that was, the flowers in it are daisies. And so I switched for that one, for that reason. And then I got this stamp set. And you guys, I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to insert images. But if you go Google The Great Gatsby, Jeremy Jordan, and see, like, him in the costumes, this is as close as you're going to come. I mean, this is dang near spit an image of him and of the suit that he's wearing. I mean, look, I'm getting goosebumps right now, even just talking about it. It was so perfect. And so I'm so excited about this. I can't even. So, all right. So these are the 4 focal stamps. I'm going to do the words. Let me explain why these are cut funny. Originally, I was going to do it on a bigger picture frame. But I have less space. See, here I've got, 4 inches? Here I've got 2. So what I was going to have to do was cut down the stamp of the cottage, cut down the stamp of the table and chairs. Then he was going to have to go here. There was nowhere else for him to go. And then I was realizing that I was going to have a whole lot of open space. A lot. To the point where it was going to be more filler tiles than focal tiles. And I felt like there was too much space here, and then I wasn't enjoying that I was going to have to cut these 2. And that the only way I could do them was in the corners. And then the only way I could do him was either here or here. And if I did it this way, I played with this for several hours, you guys. If I did it this way, come here, and I had the cottage here, then he could go here or here, right? And then maybe the teapot there. And then I think I threw it away, but I had this where it was one long line across the top. But again, still a lot of space. These had to go in the corners. There was no option. And so then it was going to be a whole bunch of filler. I wasn't too keen on it. So I sent pictures to my sister-in-law, who I pick her brain quite often for thoughts, and she said to go with the smaller picture frame. Okay, so then of course I had the choice to do it this way or this way. Right, yeah. Can't do it this way because it's got the little holes for the peg to stand up. So the only way I could do it this way is if I put like a picture hangy thing up here, because I would have wanted him like on this side like this, right? Can't do it that way. So let's say we did it this way. He would have to go here. And then I probably would have put the cottage up top, the table down here. You can already see where the problems are, right? This isn't really going to fit. And then I would have crammed the words here and here or something. So that I didn't like this. And I didn't like it like this, right? What, the table's floating up in the middle of the sky? No. So when I did it like this, it was better, but I didn't like having these both lined up at the bottom. So then I figured out I could slide this up and give it that kind of a deal. So, and then he goes here. And when I stamp this out and cut it out, it will be the exact width of the frame so that I don't have to worry about filling a little teeny tiny gap. Okay, and then the little teapot here. Actually, it's going to go over here. And then I have chipboard. And I'm going to paint the chipboard. I haven't decided what color yet. I haven't really worked out colors yet. Paint the chipboard, and then I'm going to emboss with alphabet stamps. So this one will go, uh-oh. Maybe I'm not. It fit on the other frame. It doesn't fit on this frame. Never mind. Not going to be chipboard. So I'll do it on clay. So this will be here, down a little bit, because I'll want a strip of something up top. And then keep it casual, goes here. Okay. All right. Then let me talk to you about a few filler options I've come up with so far. Am I driving you guys nuts? Okay, so her original request before I locked into this only tea was, she said she liked blues and greens like mermaid colors. And so, you know, I'm going to do some blues and greens with, you know, for the sky and the trees and that kind of thing. His suit is pink. White pants and a pink jacket, pink tie. So I have these strung beads that are, because another line in the song is, I'm just going to walk in the ocean or just drown me in the bay. So I have these that are kind of water-like and kind of mermaid color-like. So I thought about those. And those might get used. But then I have these. I'm going to move this over and I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see better. Hold on. Okay, so I have these that are like this kind of iridescent. So it goes like blues, purples, greens, right? I have some rectangular ones. I have these little square stickers. I've got stars, which are currently embedded on navy blue, galaxy glitter. That may change. And I had some hearts. And I had some little 5-petal flowers, which kind of represent daisies to me. So these would be probably one of each, maybe two, I don't know. Tucked in. That's an option. And then I wanted some metal items. So I have these that look kind of daisy-like, right? Let me make sure I'm still in the shot. Yep, we're good. And then I have a ladybug and a bumblebee and a little dragonfly and a butterfly. And I'll do them, both the flower and the bug, on the same tile, right? And so I haven't decided what clay color. I thought about a green because of the flowers. I thought about blue to represent sky. So I haven't decided yet. I mean, it's going to be a blue or a green. I'm not sure which. So I'll have to figure that out. I was looking at this like jade green. It's kind of almost like a blue-green color. Because I'm going to show you a couple of the filler options I'm going to use. Because again, she had initially requested mermaid colors. So we're going to look in my boxes here. Let me move this stuff and zoom out because I'm really bad about that. Zooming back out. Oop, too far. All right. So there's one for sure. Where is it at? This box. So again, blues primarily, but like mermaid colors. So I've got a couple things here. I've got this, just a random texture stamp that can be cut down and tucked into a few places. I've also got, these are on the sea glass, which is a souffle, so it's easy to cut after baking, right? So then I've got some different like leafy options. So those are more than likely going to get used. So, and then of course I have my ever popular swirls. So, look you guys, I've got some stuff already embedded in this color of clay. There's a dragonfly. I don't know. I might go through here and just see what I already have embedded in these. That's funny. That is quite humorous to me. So I may not need to make, there's a butterfly. Yeah, I'm going to go through these and see what I already have embedded. So I also have a little bit left of this. Oops. Which is like a paisley pattern. And then I stamped it with white ink on the same color. So that'll probably get used. I do have I have a whole bunch of these. This was where I just had a bunch of scraps of all different colors of blues and greens. And I just started feeding them through the pasta machine and then baking them. So they're kind of water-like, and it's kind of a subtle filler option. So I'll probably use some of these because goodness knows I have a ton of them. So those are some options. Got some darker blue, different blues here. This could represent water or wind. That might be interesting. Got some just random swirls in a teal. Turquoise, whatever color that is. So, let's see. So I want the fillers to be a lot like this is that same stamp, but rubbed with mica powders. I actually like this better. Let's see how I like it with. I shouldn't be doing this yet. This is actually the last step. But like, if this was a filler, and that was a filler, and some of this. So that's mermaid-like colors, right? Anyway, so this is kind of where I'm at. And there's also going to be leafing. And let me grab that real quick. We're going to see what I already have made. Doesn't look like a lot. So we'll probably have to make more. Because I'm not going to use fish scales. That's not appropriate. And then the only other one I have is this in the dark. But I kind of want to use this color. So I'm probably going to do a sheet of this color, but with a different texture. So, all right, so that's kind of where I'm at right now. Just kind of, like I said, planning stages. But the first thing I'm going to do is, oops. See, I've also got some greens. Oh, that's kind of pretty. Might use that leaf pattern instead. Different color green. Okay, train of thought derailed. Come on, come back. Come on back to me. So the first thing I'm going to do is stamp the stamps. Okay. Which brings me to my next issue, of which I have many today. Put these in a little container so they don't get lost. So the 4 focal stamps. I was initially going to do blue to represent sky, but, you know, that's not going to make any sense for this one or this one. So I don't think I'm going to do blue. So I pulled ivory. So it's not straight white. It's kind of an off-white, kind of a, yeah. And so, and stamp all 4 of them with the black archival ink onto this. I have an idea. Hold on one second. Oh, not that one. It's this one. I have an idea. Terrifying as that sounds. If I wanted to go back to the big picture frame, I've also got this stamp. Since it's like on the water where the cottage is. But it's kind of big. It would probably work for like a wall hanging, but I don't think it would work for a picture frame. So, what was I aiming for? This one. Okay, so I was thinking, because I have these like brick cobblestone kind of deals, right? So what if I did this one, right? At maybe like an angle, or not even an angle, just like that. And then do the table and chairs on it so it looks like that they're on a patio. Does that make sense? So what I would need to do is I would take this piece of paper. I would cut as close to the legs of the chairs and the leg of the table as I could. Lay it on the clay. And then stamp the cobblestones. And so then the stamp would not go where the chair's legs and the table leg is. And then take the page off and then stamp the stamp on it. Because otherwise you would have like the lines of the cobblestone going through the pedestal of the table. So I might play with that and see if I can make that like look like a kind of, yeah, because I trimmed this one down, but let me show you. And since I stamped it already, I don't know how visible it's. Well, here, I'll just take it off and then you'll be able to see. Aha. So this is the cottage. Okay, so you got trees. There's like a little flagstone path to the little door. So then this is similar. So it would be like the little front patio area. Right? All right, so that's kind of where I'm at right now in the planning stages. Oh, what I started to say is I'm not 100% sure if I am going to color these with mica powders or stamp them, bake them, and then color them with the alcohol inks after. The alcohol inks allow for more detailed coloring because we do have a lot of little things. You know, little leaves, little petals on the flowers, little strawberries. So I'm not 100%. And then also a lot of the filler tiles are probably going to be rubbed with mica powder. So alcohol inks are probably going to be more precise and more focused. I don't know. You guys know what I'm trying to say, right? I hope you do, because I don't. So yeah, I'll probably do alcohol inks. So I'm just going to stamp them and bake them. I'll color them with alcohol inks. And then if I don't like it, I'll stamp them out again and color them with mica powders and bake them that way. So, alright. So you guys, I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of where I'm at right now in the planning stage. So, I also know that when I stamped these on paper, that there were a couple of spots that didn't connect cleanly. And like, so it left a gap and I had to go back and like try to restamp that one spot. And if that happens on clay, I'm going to be very upset. So, anyway, I'm going to go away and continue to plan and think. I think the frame will probably just be painted your stereotypical black. Can never go wrong with that, right? So that's where we're at for right now. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a sneak peek of what I'm working on. All right, you guys, that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching.